Somewhere on every World Cup squad, there's a player who may never touch the ball. He trains every day. He sits every match. There's a real chance he becomes the most important man in his country's tournament. And nobody planned it that way. 3 numbers decide his fate: 26, 11, 5. You've heard all 3. You don't know how they actually connect or why one of them used to be smaller. By the end of this, you will. Here is exactly how it works. Start with the number that controls everything else. 26. That's how many players a nation brings to this World Cup. It wasn't always 26. For decades, the limit sat at 23, until FIFA quietly raised it for the 2022 tournament and never lowered it back. 3 extra names, and almost nobody noticed the change happen, which tells you something about how FIFA prefers to make these decisions. Quietly. Here's what actually matters about the number itself. Every nation submits a final list before the tournament starts. 26 names, not 27, not 25. The moment FIFA approves that list, those players become the only ones who exist for your country. No call-ups, no mid-tournament signings, no rescuing a player who finds form a week too late. 26 names, frozen for an entire month, whether your manager likes it or not. Here's what surprises people. This isn't about protecting smaller federations or keeping things fair. It's chaos control, plain and simple. Picture a tournament where any country could swap players based on form, panic, or one bad headline. Coverage wouldn't be about football anymore. It would be a transfer rumor mill every single day for a month straight. So FIFA drew a line instead and made it nearly impossible to cross. One list, locked before kickoff. And once that opening whistle blows, there's no walking it back. Not for anyone. Now stay with this part, because this is where it actually turns dangerous. Your best defender tears a hamstring 2 days before the opener. You'd assume there's flexibility somewhere. There barely is. A replacement is only possible before that first match. It requires real medical proof, and FIFA's own panel has to approve it. Miss that window by even a few hours, and your team plays the entire tournament 1 player short. No appeal, no second list. The same 26 names, even if one of them physically cannot walk. And here's what most fans never consider until it's already happened to their own team. The World Cup is not won by the 11 players who start the opening match. It's won by whichever squad survives everything that comes after. The injuries, the suspensions, the quiet accumulated damage of playing every few days for an entire month. But here's the twist inside the twist, the part almost nobody explains properly. Even with 26 players sitting there, you never actually get to use all of them. 11 start, the rest wait. And from that bench, you get exactly 5 substitutions across 90 minutes. 6, if the match reaches extra time. One single exception breaks that limit completely. A suspected concussion allows a separate medical substitution that doesn't count against your 5 at all. FIFA decided a small tactical gift to the opposing team is an acceptable price to pay. A brain injury staying on the pitch is not. That's the one soft edge in an otherwise unforgiving system. And it's exactly why a backup fullback who hasn't kicked a ball all tournament can suddenly start the single biggest match of his career. He was always insurance. He just never knew when the claim would come due. This matters more right now than it ever has. The 2026 tournament expanded to 48 teams, packed into a tighter, more punishing schedule than any World Cup before it. More matches, more travel, less recovery between them. Whether you like it or not, that 26-player limit is about to get stress-tested harder than it's ever been built for. One badly timed injury in Week 2 could quietly decide a nation's entire tournament before most fans watching at home even notice what happened. So go back to those 3 numbers from the very start. 26, 11, 5. You already know exactly how they connect now. 26 players frozen the moment that list gets approved. 11 starters every single match. 5 substitutions allowed off the bench, 6 in extra time, plus 1 separate concussion exception built purely for safety. And that quiet history hiding behind the very first number? It used to be 23 until FIFA finally admitted the modern game breaks players down faster than it used to. That player from the start of this video, the one who might never touch the ball, he's not a footnote. He's the entire plan for everything that hasn't gone wrong yet. The game has not changed. You have. You're welcome. Subscribe if you enjoyed this type of content. It means a lot.